That one's off. Did that do it? Yep.
Yeah, that fixed it.
Got it.
Now see if everybody can hear you.
Is yours on?
That one is off. Try it now. Who's calling in?
Diane.
She shouldn't need to call him.
Diane, are you there?
I call her right there, as you.
Let's hang that on. She left. She can get on through that.
She had told Heather that she might.
Larry, can you hear?
Can you hear us, Larry?
Turn
Okay,
that.
I mute this.
Yeah, turn that back on.
Can you hear us now?
I can hear you now, yeah.
Okay.
We're just gonna roll with
And
that.
Jill, you're shaking your, yeah, you can hear me.
Yep, I can hear you, and I can hear them.
Yep, I can hear you both.
All right, Steve, we're ready.
Okay, call a meeting to order. First thing on the agenda is the approval of the November 2020 minutes. If everybody's had a chance to review and see if there's any changes or corrections or additions. If not, like a motion to accept.
Steve, we need swearing in before anybody can vote. Before you do nothing.
Oh, okay, well, that's on here later, but you want to do it now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, we're going to do the swearing in first.
Forget that.
Yeah.
We'll be back. There just has to be an official swearing in before they can vote. So, very excited tonight. I'm swearing in two folks one who has been with this board for how long, Steve?
Long time.
Long time. He won't tell me how long.
This is fourth or fifth term, I'm not sure.
So probably 16
Yeah,
years. Noemi Ponce is a brand-new board member. She is a mother with children and a school teacher, and I think will add a great perspective to the board, looking at our parks and recreational opportunities in the community. So I'm really excited to have her join us. Let's go ahead and do the oaths. I'll have you both stand up and raise your right hand. And I will ask you to repeat after me. I, and then state your name,
I, Steve Haynes,
Noemi Ponce.
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
and that I will faithfully,
and
And that I will faithfully,
impartially,
and
impartially,
and diligently
and diligently
and diligently
discharge my duties
discharge our duties
discharge
as a
my
member of
duties
the Parks and Recreation Board
as a member of the Parks and Recreation Board
for the City of Warsaw, Indiana,
for the city of Warsaw, Indiana,
according to the law
according to the law
and the best of my ability.
and the best of my ability.
Congratulations, both
Thank
of
you.
you.
Thank you.
I will have you sign
Welcome aboard.
these. Print your name as well, and then be sure that Heather gets those at the end of the meeting. All right, now you guys can vote.
Okay, thank you, sir.
If you want to collect them, I can.
Thank you.
Glad to have you both back.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Back to you, back, you Steve back. Absolutely, looking forward to it.
Okay, now we'll go to the minutes. Are we on again?
Yes.
Okay. Need a motion to accept?
I move that we approve the minutes for the November meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the November meeting minutes. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Thank you. Unfinished business. Don't see any. Moving on to new business, we now have the election of the officers for this year. Starting with the president first. Any nominations?
Yes, Steve, you've led this board for a number of years now, and I have to say, we've had some challenges that we've all faced, the ice rink, the construction of the new offices and so forth, and if you're willing, I would love to nominate you for president again.
Is there a second for the nomination?
I second.
Okay, any other nominations? Well, I accept, so thank you.
Thank you.
And now, vice president. Nominations are open for that. And Larry, you've been doing this for, I think, as long as I've been president almost. So I would nominate you to stay on as vice president. Is there a second?
I second.
Any other nominations? All in favor of Larry, say aye. Well, wait, do you accept?
I do.
Better ask that first. Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay. We're set for another year. Project Matrix 2021.
Yeah, I put together a little matrix here. I see I put 2020 special projects up there. It should be 2021. But some of the things that we hope to accomplish this year, we're rebranding and replacing all of our park signs at each park. We had the old wooden signs with the telephone poles, and then they're just rotting and falling over. So we're going to replace all the name signs in the parks. We'd like to get that done first or second quarter, as soon as the ground thaws out. Replace the office printer. That's something that's been needed for a couple of years now. The data on our current printer is just almost out of date, so we're going to replace the office printer. Continue our wood fiber replacement at all of our parks, keeping up with our playground safety inspections and fall protection. On the same note, we would like to purchase playground for the Byer Park. We have looked at some designs already, preparing those to bring those to the board to look at. Byer Park, the playground there was installed in '93, so it's due to be replaced. The 5-year master plan. This is we've always did a 5-year master plan in the past. Some park departments are going to a 3-year master plan, but however, to apply for the DNR grants that Sheila is going to apply for the skate park mobile, we have to have a DNR 5-year master plan. So I think we'll go ahead with the 5-year master plan this year, just so we can apply for those grants. If we don't get all we want this year, we'll have that opportunity to do that next year. So that's our intention as of right now. Kerr Park playground installation. Of course, this was the playground that we purchased in 2020. We have all the playground. We'll install that in the spring, first or second quarter. Again, that was about $100,000 worth of playground equipment going in there that we spent just a little over $50,000 for through the grant program. Of course, we got to keep up on our maintenance for the plaza and the Glover Pavilion stage repairs. We did a little bit of that last year as well, and we'll continue to do that throughout the year. New pickup truck, a snowplow. This truck is replacing the current water truck that we have, and it's needed replacing. It gets a lot of use in the wintertime plowing snow, and then it hauls the water truck, around to do the 80 beds uptown all summer long. So we need to replace that and keep in our 10-year master plan for replacement vehicles. Bobcat upgrade. This year we're going to a track machine. Normally we just trade in for the $1,800, but we want to upgrade to a track machine. This will allow us to have a machine that we can use when the soils are soft and wet. We don't have anything like that right now. We just have wheel machines, so they sink. Once we purchase this, the 18.5 there, then the annual renewal will be $2,500 to trade that piece in and get it redone. So I think that's a big improvement on our equipment and our usage for that equipment. All of our attachments that we have for that will still fit the machine. New lawnmower, that's keeping up with our maintenance, 4-year rotation on our lawnmowers. That seems to work well. About the time they're ready to go out of warranty or become dilapidated, it's time to turn them in and we get a decent trade-in on them, so that's good. Applying for grants to move the Manna Skate Park to Richardson DeVoy Park. This is something that Sheila's been working on and continues to work on. She got some good news the other day from the K-21 that would like to back this project. So now it's kind of dependent upon the DNR grant, which she'll do here shortly, and then we'll know what, October, I think it is, Sheila, we'll know. We'll
Should
know
be
if we get
September,
that.
October timeframe.
So that's something that we're really looking at. We've got a great design. She's did great work on that. So we're just trying to secure all the funding on that, and then that would be in the 2022 season is when we would look to do that. But trying to secure those grants this year. Installing a drinking fountain at Kerr Park. That's something that we had on the list, but we actually received a donation from Indiana American Water for the sum of $2,992.75. We actually ordered that, and it's due to be delivered Thursday, so we'll have that and we'll install that at the same time that we do the playground equipment in the spring times. So we'd like to thank Indiana American Water for that donation and the support of the Kerr Park project there. Updating the senior activities restrooms. Those restrooms we've actually started on this. We did 2 of them. We're in the process of doing the other 2. These were the sink bases, the tile painting, the ceiling tile. The 2 that they did look outstanding. I mean, they've really brought them up. They're ADA accessible. They have handrails, something that get it done, and we're happy that we're able to do that. It'll be a real plus when the senior center gets back to activities in there. So the other thing is the West Shelter lot at Central Park. That's normally our vendor lot or our West Shelter rental lot that we use during our concerts and stuff. We had some money left last year, so we encumbered that money. So as soon as the weather breaks in the spring, they're going to do that lot. Again, they've got to raise the curb line there, just like they did on the Indiana Street lot. The curb line had sunk over a foot over the 25 years that it's been there. So they'll take about 100-foot section of curb and raise that and reslope the lot and mill it and then repave it. So we'll have Indiana done, we'll have the West Shelter lot done, and then we'll have to look at the East Shelter. They're going to do a little patching included in that price for us for the East lot, but a year or 2 down the road, we'll have to look at doing that. So those are the main topics for 2021. We look to hopefully someday get back to our rentals and things of that. We hope to do deliveries this year to try to make revenue on that. I think we're a little smarter with the COVID on our rentals, and I think that's something that can be done as far as picnic tables and Solhurst tables to allow people to access those and rent those. As soon as we get out of the red, we'll go back to renting our facilities. We're strapped at 25 people right now. If we can get back to the 50 mark or above, we'll do that with restrictions at our buildings, but we'd like to get the public back in our buildings and create that revenue stream again, but we want to do it in a safe manner, so that's kind of where we're at on that. That's what I've got, Steve.
Okay, thank you. Anybody have any questions or comments?
The wood fiber, what goes under the swings and things?
Yes, that's the, it's called engineered wood fiber, and that's our fall protection. We put in 16 inches of that under there, so it's good to 12 foot. So if a kid jumps up on top of the pole where they're not really supposed to be in fall, we're protected. Yes.
Thank you.
Steve, I just wanted to add a little bit about what was just talked about with the challenges that the community's faced with COVID. You know, I know the parks have lost some revenues with not being able to rent the facilities, but I just want to assure everybody the facilities have been assets to our community as we're working through COVID. Certainly the Bloodmobile has been down there multiple times. I think they've got 6 more visits between now and May. Blood is at a critical shortage right now. We're also basically arranged to have the pavilion, Central Park, be a potential vaccination site. Should we get more vaccinations allotted to the county from the state, that's all in flux. Potentially, with changes at the federal level, there's a possibility we could be notified in a moment's notice that there might be more vaccinations available, and I think it's important that we're ready to try and spread that out and get those vaccinations done. So I talked to Larry. You know, again, we're looking at over the next few months of utilizing that site should the need arise. And again, we all just hope that the amount of vaccines available to the county will warrant that, but we're ready to go with that. So again, our facilities, while they may not have been generating revenue, they will be used in many great ways. We certainly were able to use the park this summer for testing. Testing was obviously very critical at the time, continues to be, and now potentially using the pavilion for vaccination site. Having those facilities available and for the Bloodmobile are critical to the public health of our community, and I thank you for that. The other thing I did want to mention, the Buffalo Street project, the plaza down at the lake, you might have all noticed that. That's not really a parks project as far as how it's funded. It's a project that came through the Indiana regional cities with all the building that's going on down around that. We have had some delays with materials with the COVID, and I just noticed the other day that some of the materials showed up for the new rotunda down there, the new pavilion. So we're getting moving on that. Hopefully that whole plaza was supposed to be done this fall, and it looks like it's probably going to be spring before it is done, but we are continuing to move ahead with that. The last thing I did want to mention, we are moving now towards looking at the construction of the new maintenance facility and park offices that have been displaced by the Buffalo Street project. Not a lot to say right now other than we're putting together a delivery method to construct that, and we're obviously looking at our options as far as financing. So there will be a lot going on this summer and this year. Hopefully we'll start to get back out of the restrictions and be able to utilize our parks more and more. But I personally want to thank all of you in the Parks Department for the challenges that they have endured this year. They pivoted a lot on recreational opportunities and still provided our citizens with things to do. And the projects continue. Obviously, Larry's got a year's worth of projects coming up, so I don't think we slowed down much that way. We know how important our parks are to our community. And again, I appreciate all the hard work you've done as we kind of pivot around, hopefully one last large hurdle, and that being the vaccinations that hopefully we can all pull together and get that done so we can start to get out of this thing. So thank you.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, Mayor. Next up, maintenance report.
Yeah, so the Christmas display was pretty successful given the circumstances, I believe. several people were able to make it down and walk throughout the park, check things out. We were able to collect $401 in donations from the donation mailbox we set out. It's not quite what we usually get from the Young Tiger trailer, but still, I feel like that's a pretty good number just for having a mailbox set out. So we were able to tear down the display and store it pretty smoothly. We had a little help from a willing volunteer. I think Larry Ladd, thank you for calling that in. That saved some damage, I believe. So, but we got it all stored. I don't think we had too many things damaged. I think we got everything working from that guy. We've also finished all the grade work around the new parking lot at Higher Park. We'll just have to go in and reseed it in the spring when it starts thawing out. Our picnic table refurbishment is done. We just simply didn't have as many to do since we didn't deliver this year. So that actually gained us a little bit extra time to do some things that we don't normally do in the winter time. One being refurbishing all of the courtesy piers, which are at the campgrounds now. We took off the old PVC decking on it, replaced it with treated lumber that should be a little easier to maintain and replace and repair in the future. And then we're hoping to also be able to extend one of the piers and maybe gain a few more parking spots for voters in the campgrounds. We had a section of pole barn in the back 40 Pike Lake insulated. Hopefully we can use that for a second location to do some indoor projects in the winter time, especially. Our shop gets pretty full normally in the winter time, and we're usually limited to one project at a time. So I think we'll be able to get a little bit more done in the winter time being able to do that. And then like Larry said, we've begun updating the restrooms at the senior center at Pete Thorne, and they're looking awesome. I believe that's it.
Thank you. Recreation report. Doggone it.
Doggone it.
Had to delay,
You know what?
Had to delay the dance.
We did.
Yeah.
But 2020 is looking better. We're gonna do all the things this year. All the things, Steve.
Good.
So, what we've been doing since we saw you last is we've had 4 Imagination Station dates. We had every kit picked up from those every time we've had it. So, she does somewhere between 50 and 70 kits, depending on the summer when she was doing 70. These going into the fall and winter, she's been doing 50. We have every single one of those picked up. So that's great. You know, people are watching those videos. They are coming and picking up the kits. So we're really happy with that. Stephanie has another round of those coming up. In a couple weeks, those will start. And we do those about every other week in the winter when it's just the 2 of us. We also had our virtual Santa visits. We had 18 different families, and then some of those had multiple children in one video. It worked out amazing. Santa and Mrs. Claus did a wonderful job.
Good.
It was great to be able to connect them with the children that they weren't able to see in person this year due to COVID, reasons. So that went on. What have we been doing? We've been working on the 2021 calendar, trying to get all of our activities down, trying to figure out what we're going to do and how we can change things up for this year, keep things exciting. I've been booking the summer concert series. That's almost done. Working on contracts for that and get those approved. And then working on the skate park relocation and the grants that go along with that. Larry kind of teased you a little bit ago. We did get notification that we have been, we had our grant accepted for the K-21 Foundation for $150,000. However, it is contingent on getting that DNR grant that goes in June 1st.
Yeah.
So that is my huge hurdle that's up, coming up on the horizon. But we're gonna give it our all and see what happens from there. Outside of that, we are still looking at needing another $50,000 to fund that project fully for the match. So that's another thing that I'll be working on here in the very, very near future, like by the end of the week. Daddy-daughter dance is postponed to the fall. probably seen that. Looking at the first weekend in October for that. However, it's not set in stone. So watch closer to the date, and we will put some announcements out when tickets are going to be available for that. And I think that's all I've got.
Okay,
I'd just
thank
like
you.
to say a little bit on that, Steve. I think Sheila and Stephanie did a good job, through this pandemic, providing alternate recreation for people. And I've asked her, and I've kind of put the pressure on them again this year, not only to be ready for a typically normal year to do that, but also think outside the box as to what we can continue, what worked well. When the weather breaks, can we do more stuff outside that we're more educated now with the COVID? Just things of that. So they're kind of working a double-sided sword here. We want things that we know we can do, but yet things that we normally do to have that ready as well. So we just like to be ready, if the vaccine goes through and we get vaccinated and we're allowed to do things, we want to be ready to do things that we normally do. But if not, we think it's very important for the community to have recreation resources, and that's what they've been providing. And I've asked them to continue to think outside the box and continue their efforts for that. So I think it's important for our community.
I think, actually, your whole crew's done a good job, including you.
Well, thank you, Steve. Yeah, the maintenance,
Really?
and I'll give Sean props on the maintenance side too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, absolutely.
through this whole pandemic, what we've accomplished, I put together our 2020 year in progress review, which we'll do next month. And, as I started that list and looked at it, we got quite a bit accomplished,
Yeah.
even though we were through a pandemic. So we'll brag on Sean a little bit next week, or next month. Yeah.
We always brag
Thanks.
on Sean.
Thank you.
Other matters? Have anything, Larry?
I don't. I'd just like to
Okay.
welcome Naomi to the board, and I hope you're here for a long time like everybody has been. And we're a very close-knit board, and feel free to voice your opinions and, give us your side of things. And I want you to feel welcome here, and just join us all in discussion. And like the mayor said, it's good to have your view as an educator and a young mother on the side of things, and so we look forward to that.
Thank you so much for having me.
And Steve, I'm glad that you're back with us. You've been a strong leader, and
Thank
welcome
you.
aboard, and we just have a good board. I can just say that.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I think so too. Meeting review, to me, the big part was getting our new member finally. It's exciting. And getting the mayor down here to talk to us every once in a while is a good thing. I like it.
Yeah, I will say, Joe touched on the maintenance facility office thing, and he's working hard on that. I'm very optimistic that, something's going to happen there this year, and I'm glad to see that we're moving forward on that. We've been displaced for a couple of years now,
Yeah.
and I'm just anxious to finally have a facility where we can get the office and the maintenance back together and be back at Central Park where we need to be. So I look forward and doing everything possible to help move that process along as well.
All right, if nobody has anything else, we'll take a motion to adjourn. Oh,
Yes.
I just wanted to say thank you for all the things you guys did in-house this year, and for the projected things you're gonna do next year in-house. You guys have no idea how much money that saves the city, and we could have really talented people at the Parks Department, and I appreciate it when you guys do everything that you can in-house. So thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Diane.
Jill, did you have something?
Yes, I'd like to say that the Christmas lights were just magical this year, I thought. The night that we went out, there were hundreds of families up
Yeah.
there, all, we spaced to socially distance, they were taking pictures. They were gonna put them on their Christmas cards. The children were having fun moving amongst them and, getting closer on the grass to see them. I just thought it was just beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, we were down there 3 or 4 times, and it was busy every time we went down.
I think it gave an opportunity for people that have been, stuck in their homes
Yeah.
for so long, a chance to get
Yep.
out and kind of recreate and see things. And
Yep.
it was just a blessing that we had it done early and could open it up early, and it was very good. I thought the guys did a very good job on it as well, so that was great. Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, now we need a motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn.
Second?
I'll second that. Steve.
Okay, all in favor say aye. Aye?
Aye.
Okay, we are adjourned. Thanks, gang.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, everybody.
Well, we got this thing to work. That's good.